Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Continental OETS. Think of all the weird things found in cars. I'm not talking about your garden variety petrified French fries or melted crayons. I'm talking about live snakes, bizarre trinkets, the kind of stuff that makes you just wonder about, folks. Another thing that will make you wonder, but in a good way, are Continental Belts. I bet you didn't know Continental Belts are original equipment in tens of millions of Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, and GM vehicles that roll off the assembly line. They're also original equipment on the majority of BMWs and Volkswagens. Now, Continental is launching the aftermarket multi-V belt with the OE pedigree. It's their OE Technology Series, belts that are fantastically engineered for a perfect fit, form, and function. And Continental has an OE Technology Series multi-V belt for 98% of the vehicles on the road in the US and Canada. Hey, you get enough surprises when working on cars and trucks. A belt shouldn't be one of them. Go with the Continental OE Series multi-V belt, the belt with the OE pedigree. To get the full story, visit oetechnologyseries.com. That's oetechnologyseries.com. This podcast is also brought to you by Autotempest.com. I love Autotempest.com because you know what I hate? Doing double work. I like to do something well and do it one time. Autotempest.com prevents me from having to search over and over on different car sites for the same car. They do all that work for me, folks. They do it for me. When you go to Autotempest.com, it searches all those places at once for you and then compares the results to AutoTrader and Craigslist. It's genius, folks. We love having them as a sponsor. They've been here for a while. They're going to be around. It saves me time. It's going to save you time. That is what Autotempest.com does. Check it out. On this episode of the Smoking Tire Podcast, our old friend Aaron Gold is in the building, and he's brought along his lovely wife, Robin, who is the best. Aaron has been the caretaker of the Million Mile Lexus for like the last 6 months, so he's got some stories about that. And then, being Aaron Gold, we probably will talk about buses and some other spectacularly nerdy things. Enjoy this one. It's a good one. Sit down with me and Aaron Gold. What's up, Smoking Tire Podcast? I've been like dropping bombs as opening.
Oh, that's a bomb.
I mean, it's a sad bomb.
It is a sad bomb.
Aaron and Robin Gold in the studio to witness my sad bomb. Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome, Aaron, old friend. Robin, the the broad.
The broad of the gang.
Yeah. The wife.
She's my broad.
The wife, the partner.
She's my missus.
The caretaker of the Million Mile Lexus, really.
Yeah, she's been putting a lot of miles on it.
I don't want to be responsible for that right now.
No, but but miles.
No, yeah. I've been driving a lot.
Not for that.
Not the bad stuff.
I'm
not responsible for any bad stuff.
In 10 minutes.
That's Aaron's fault.
10 minutes, says Mr. Frank Mueller. I will throw you under the bus, but not before then. I'll throw someone under the bus.
I was going to talk about what I feel bad about, how I'm having trouble being cheery.
Because of the sap?
Because of the sap. There's sap all over the hood, and I haven't been able to get off in time. And I've taken such good care of the car, and now the hood is covered in sap.
It puts a stain, a literal stain.
A literal stain. And I haven't had time.
But wait, if you had taken good care of the car, wouldn't it not have sap?
I wasn't going to throw you under the bus, but I'm not the one who parked it under the tree.
Yeah, but you are the one that pissed off the squirrels.
Now you go. Wait, now you go. I
said now you're the one who pissed off the squirrels.
How did I piss off the squirrels?
Just living.
I was away. I was in freaking Portugal or something. See what my life is like.
So there's sap on the car,
and
it's supposed. So there's these folks, and wait, I want to plug them actually. They have names. Hang on. They have names.
I don't know who we're talking about.
No, the folks who are taking the car.
You know what would have been funny is if we'd left the hood open, which we can now do because my mechanic gave you a set of hood struts because he loves the car. If I left the hood open, the sap would have probably sealed up the front end of the motor and you wouldn't have to worry about the oil leaks.
Good point. Did he give you receipts?
No, he still hasn't given me a receipt, and I keep chasing him.
It would occur to me, I don't want to be a dick about the receipts, but the IRS would never believe that I have spent this much money on a 1996
I think they will, though,
Lexus.
once they see it. And
that's a good point.
Once you tell them the story.
That's so funny.
They'll believe it.
So these guys' names are Anna and Anton, and they are called Adventureholics. They have a YouTube channel, and they're taking the Lexus for 3 months. And they're going, apparently, if all goes according to plan, knock on podcast table wood, apparently 10,000 miles, they said.
I think that's awesome.
Which would be gangster. I mean, I was so pleased if that is the case.
You know, you think about the thing about that car is you go, okay, we're at 972. Did we hit 972.1? Maybe not yet.
No, yeah, it's 972.2, I think.
Okay, so we're out. You're at 972,000, and you think, oh, we're so close to 1 million, and then you go, they're going to put 10,000 miles on it, and we're still 2 years worth of. I'm saying
God.
we. That's not good.
Well, it's not.
I
There's
love
a
that
we.
car.
I'm so glad you guys are involved with it.
And I took it over, so I had. Oh, did I tell you I got a job?
Where?
Automobile Magazine.
Oh, hell yeah!
So I got a job there. So I had it over there today. Thank you.
Delightful.
And they are flipping out over the car.
Oh my
Really?
God, yes.
Can some fucking writers take it and put some miles on it?
Yes,
Great.
they all want to. If it survives the next 10,000 miles,
it
that's
will.
the next plan. Send it to me. I'll, number one, clean the sap off the hood.
In
And
3
then,
months, thanks.
Yeah. And then,
That's really helpful.
what can happen to the finish of that car that hasn't already happened?
Oh, nothing. I mean, honestly, you know, if by clean you would like to remove the body panels and spray paint them white, like that's pretty much okay.
That might be the easiest way to do that.
We could wrap it if we wanted, if we cared. I kind of don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to. When someone's taking the car for 3 months, and I'm like, here's a sticky car.
I know.
You know?
But it's on the hood, so unless they
they'll be fine.
sleep on the hood.
You get a free car. They'll be all right.
And you can say, you know what, this fucking Dick Aaron.
I will. You'll probably be here. There's the reason all of this was
they're
put
coming.
together. The reason you guys are here today now is because they're coming at 6 o'clock.
Because I have to answer for them getting a sappy
So
car.
you guys get to tell them why that the car is sticky at
I have
6
no
o'clock.
problem with that, since it's Aaron's fault.
I haven't met them in person. They're from Europe. They are, by all accounts, very nice people and very genuine. Tim, it's Adventureholics with an X. See if you can find them. I think they're husband and wife.
Are they car people?
Not particularly, but they seem like road trip people and travel people. Wait, is that? No, they don't build those. Those are giant off-road vehicles. That's not them. No.
It changed
No,
to
Hilux.
Adventure Hilux.
Oh, yeah.
It did it on its own. It wasn't-
Holix. It's one word. Adventureholics. If we can find these dudes.
Holics, with an
It should
A on
be
the end?
H-A-U.
No. Holix.
H-O-L-I-X?
Yeah. Anna and Anton's. There they are. Second one down. Yeah.
How long will this take us?
Oh, wow. They look like they really love each other with their shirts off. They look like they're going to have sex on every surface of the car.
Oh, then we're gonna
even if you get the stickiness off now.
They need a picnic blanket then for the hood.
Yeah.
Oh, look, they promoted it. Oh, that's so nice. That's nice of them.
Oh, very nice.
Wait, so is that an article? Does it say where they're going to go?
Well, let's find out.
Let's find out where they're going to go.
Let's play
There's a
their
lot of words
podcast on
there.
your podcast.
Well, they're using. Oh, and they used this dude Mike Villa. It was a photographer who borrowed the Lexus and took some like really nice like studio quality photographs of it. They're like press photos. It's great. I send them out as press photos.
That car's I mean, I know. Well, it's easy to love the car when I don't have to pay the bills.
Yeah, it's free. No, it's easy for me to hate the car when I don't drive it and I pay all the bills.
You pay all the bills.
I actually can't drive it. The seat. Most people don't notice this. Maybe you do,
I do.
Robin.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Now that you bring up your spine, how is it that you've been driving this fucking thing?
Well, here's what I do, Matt. I take whatever thing I have to keep me warm and I roll it up and I stick it
really?
underneath that one lump that comes up, that lumbar lump.
Yeah.
And then I put it there and then I'm fine.
I have this problem with, holy shit, is that the map?
That's where they're
That
going?
looks like more than 1,500.
Oh, my God.
I thought they were doing
15,000. You said
10,000.
10 to 15,000.
Let's say 10 to 15,000. Thank God I hope.
Why did
10,000
they
miles.
cut out this whole piece?
Because they're like, fuck
Because they're
this.
smart.
All
Yeah.
right,
Because they're
two
European.
theories. One, they got warrants. They're like, yo, fuck
Well, we're
Texas.
skipping this, man.
Wait, there's one in Texas? Is there a San Antonio or on the right there?
If they're European,
Bottom
and
right, what's
they're,
that?
They're
Where's
going
that?
off.
Houston. They touch Houston.
Oh, Houston.
Listen, let me tell you something, Anna and Anton. I know you're not from here, but if you're going to go to one place in Texas,
You're going to
sorry,
all of them.
Sorry,
Austin.
John Hennessy. Houston should not be it. Go
to Austin.
Not Texas's best.
Well, they're not just they're not just missing Texas. They're giving Texas like a 3-state berth.
Yeah.
They don't want to go to Oklahoma either. And having been to Oklahoma, I don't blame them.
I don't want to go through Texas.
So they have.
Let's go through Kansas.
Yeah, Texas. Yeah.
84 days, 13,765 miles.
Holy shit.
Wow. They need to seriously learn to check fluids. Because that's the big issue. That's what.
Yeah.
So my mechanic is named Rob. He doesn't have like a business name, so I can't plug him. He's a great mechanic. His worry. We'll find out how great a mechanic he is.
Landline.
He's got the one cell phone, and in my phone it's Rob the mechanic.
When you give him your credit card, does he go?
We pay him in cash.
I'm sure it's
That
above
reminds
the
me.
board.
I think I have to PayPal you money.
Yeah, you do.
I can't be mad at you for the sap as long as I owe you money. That's
See, just take the
hold
sap
the-
money
you know what?
out.
We're gonna fucking solve this bullshit
Right this second?
fucking now,
We should
son.
come see Matt more
I
often.
may be a forgetful stoner, but I ain't no motherfucking deadbeat, my friend.
I trust you for the money.
Of course you do.
But we've been responsible for funneling about $2,500 into that car. My mechanic, and by the way,
trying to avoid adding it all up. Has
Aaron,
it been
why
that
would
much?
you do that?
Well,
no, I think it's been more actually.
we did the tires. We did the rack.
You did tire? I forgot we did tires.
That's how we started out.
Yeah,
we did
started
tires
out
at
with
950.
tires,
We
Do
did
right.
something
rack.
with the steering
Steering
column.
rack. You thought it
rack.
was out of alignment. It turns out the rack was falling out of the car.
Oh my god.
Do we have struts put on?
And then,
Look, most recent contacts to which I have sent money. How much do I owe you?
like, I think it's $935.
It's $935, right? That's what I remember.
So I was gonna say, my mechanic has 935 good reasons to love that car.
Ooh, we have to remember to pay him the $60 for the belt.
Oh no.
Oh, you didn't pay him that?
Oh no! Don't.
Oh, that's right.
Stop
Okay.
it.
No. That's included in your total. That's how I'm gonna get. That's how I'm gonna get his receipt.
I mean,
You sent
I would like to go get a massage.
$935
Oh,
to
you were
Aaron
so
Gold.
sweet.
There you go.
Love
Now I'm gonna
Live
get
and
mugged.
direct.
Now, somebody watching
If
live
you'd
is
like
gonna
to
mug
donate
us.
on the super chat, listen, motherfucker. I have given Aaron Gold $2,500.
It's all gone into the car.
Of course it has. I'm not suggesting.
I don't have a receipt, so I might not have.
Yeah.
But that's how, because we still owe him
The
$60 of
IRS
that.
would never believe this.
No.
That I'm paying someone named Aaron Gold $2,500 in cash for 96 Lexus maintenance.
Yeah.
Is Aaron Gold a mechanic? No.
No.
Does Aaron Gold have any canceled checks or any credit card receipts to show that he gave this money to a mechanic? No.
Did you fill out the Lexus logbook at least?
There's a logbook?
Oh, fuck off.
I'm not even
glove box.
kidding.
It's in the glove box.
It's in the driver's door panel.
What kind of stuff
It's
was
the
I?
big, it has all this flowery, whimsical shit written about the
I
car.
don't look in the glove box.
I've always meant to write something to tape in there, but here's the problem. Here's the problem with that car. What do you write about it? You write, it's fine. Because it
Oh my
is.
God.
At the end of the
Thaddeus'
day.
mom took that car and drove to the national parks, did 5,000 miles, and look, you commuted in it, so it's not like.
We drove it to Arizona.
Well, that's
where it
what
left-
you would have written about.
Where it left several T-shaped oil stains.
Right.
Okay,
I
so
would
here's
have diagrammed the oil stains and like a courtroom
Yeah.
sketch artist. I would have drawn like a house.
I would have
with some stains.
with
before
you,
before we leave, we will do that. Before we leave. So yeah, that's the thing. They really so Rob, my mechanic, is
You could do a
who's
sap
developed
rubbing.
an affection. That's how
Right?
we'll know.
Yours could just be 2 pages stuck together.
That's how you'll know it.
So will Anna and Anton.
Yeah, if Anna's got little marks on her, we'll know. So
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
hood of the car,
Yeah.
avoid the hood of the car.
That's
They seem
just
nice.
rude.
No, they
So
seem
he
very
is he is genuinely worried about the car's basically suffers from osmosis. So everything coming out of the front cover
Yeah.
of the engine.
Should we nickname it Seepy?
Yes.
Actually on the hood it
anyone
looks
has
like
that custom plate.
on the hood it looks like sepia. So that works nicely.
Oh,
See what I did
Jesus.
there?
I did,
car.
except that I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
I bought this car for $1,100, and I've put since December 2014. Wow, the 2,500 I've sent you, I think puts it over 10.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's been over $10,000.
But you've put 70,000 miles on the car, right?
Yes, that's true.
I mean, $10,000 over 70 grand.
Oh.
Now those last 30 is going to cost you like another 15.
well, have I told you like the real big fuck you about that car?
What?
There's one completely unavoidable fuck you about that car.
Which is?
The insurance.
Oh.
Because it is insured as a company vehicle designed for the use that it actually, because I'm honest about what I do with it.
Right.
And the reason I'm very honest about what I do with it, the insurance company, is if you ever fuck around with an insurance company, you're gonna get fucked really
Plus,
bad.
you do this, which is proof of everything that you do.
Yeah. So anyway, it costs more to insure that car annually than all 5 of my other cars combined.
Wow.
And I don't drive it.
But you're insured against somebody suing you.
I'm insured against
a
stranger driving it drunk and killing someone and me losing my house and business because of it.
Or somebody driving it and a wheel falls off and they go off a cliff.
That's not one. No. It's not that kind. It's not that kind of insurance. It's not insured. It's not insurance against. I mean, yes, I suppose it would be, but it's really that policy is really a massive liability policy if you were to be irresponsible with it and hit somebody else.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
but wouldn't it be really terrible if, like, after all this, like, I got sap all over the car and then a wheel fell off and I crashed and I sued you? That would be the ultimate.
The guy who breaks into someone's house and gets cut on the window on the way
and
in.
sues,
That's
wins.
But after the same person in that house like served them lemonade and put them up for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. I mean, we put miles on the car, but when we've needed a car, when we've had car issues, you've always let us use that car.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to do it.
So I'm an even more of an ungrateful motherfucker.
Shit happens. I'm happy to do it, and I don't think it's possible also that I wasn't clear of the fact that Anna and Anton were taking it at 6 o'clock. I was like, why don't you just drop it off at the place and we'll pick it up at the end of the show?
Right.
I'm not sure I said because they're coming right then.
You didn't.
And if that is the case, and I didn't, I will certainly take responsibility for my
end
of the fuck up.
Wait. Before Aaron accepts this,
why am I apologizing?
Right, don't apologize. Because even if you had told Aaron that, he wouldn't have remembered.
It's fine.
So it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I don't care.
I didn't spend enough time over it. I feel bad about it.
You should.
You know what? It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm taking advantage slightly of your good nature.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's all content.
Well, you can take advantage of him for something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
It is a video podcast.
Did you check the explicit checkbox?
All right. 5 minutes, Matt, no touching.
So wait, all right. The Lexus is alive. It's CP.
It's driving beautifully.
Is it?
So
It actually does drive really nice.
So, okay, I forget what packed up last time. Something that the alternator.
So the
few
power
months ago,
steering.
No. Power steering pump. It turned out is fine. That was my mistake. Okay,
really?
Let me tell you the story. So the alternator packed
Matt,
up.
let him talk.
It's your podcast. Let me talk. So the alternator packed up a few months ago. Rob was like angry at how cobbled together that alternator had been. Okay, so he puts a new alternator on the car with the new belt. Oh, first because it seized and shredded the pulley. So then the alternator goes bad, and then a couple months later, the next thing that packs up is the air conditioning compressor. Taking another $60, but we didn't know this right away, and then he gets in there. I
spent like $1,000 on that like a year ago.
So he takes the compressor out. A year ago was 20,000 miles.
I have to buy an air conditioning compressor every 20,000
No, you shouldn't.
miles?
They should last 100.
That's fucking
You should be able
crazy.
to get this. So then he's in there and he's
$1,000. Yeah,
so he's in there and he finds out the harmonic balancer is no good. So he
That's
changes.
like a real problem.
Yeah,
right?
that could seriously take the engine.
Yeah.
So we get through this, and the belt does not come through unscathed. Robin was there. He tried to use the old belt. It makes all kinds of noise.
Did not work.
Puts a new belt on it. So I get in the car yesterday, and the power steering, which has never been quite right, it doesn't have power steering at idle speed.
Yeah. It's always been like you have to give it a little bit of throttle. Like even when you do like a parallel parking move with it, I left foot brake and give it just a bit of like idle speed throttle. My other solution is if I'm doing the big moves I throw it in neutral to do the big moves. I find that the double load of like air conditioning, torque converter and power steering on the pump, it all gets like, so like I put it in neutral to relieve it of that one load, and it helps.
Wait a second, why are you nodding understandingly? Because when I complained about the lack of power steering on the CRX, you're like, you're a pussy.
No, it's not about.
No, I still think
not
that.
the
I'm
load
just
on
nodding.
my arms, the load on the fucking engine.
Thank you.
I give a shit about my
Oh no,
arms.
the engine's
Thank you,
fine.
Matt.
There is no load on the engine.
like,
If there was a
have
load
some
on the
muscles,
engine, you
man.
wouldn't have to go like this. If the
I
power
don't have
steering
to do
pump was
that.
the power steering, basically when you put it neutral, when you turn the wheel right now,
Yeah.
basically the power steering pump is going, putting its feet up and going,
Yeah.
it's not doing anything. So can I tell my story?
Yeah. Okay,
Oh my
go ahead.
God.
So I get in the car like
He's
yesterday.
like a 2-year-old.
Yeah,
look
I
at me. Look at me.
I
look
am,
at
yeah.
me.
Attention here. So I get in the car yesterday, and the power steering pump starts making noise. It's making noise at idle, and I'm like, oh fuck! Don't tell me everything that connects to the serpentine belt has gone bad. So I call Rob, and I go, Rob, I'm worried the power steering is going to pack up. Somebody's about to put 10,000 miles on it. Is there, how long will it last? Do we need to do this? He goes, did you check the fluid? And I said, no. And I open it up. And of course, I should assume,
bone
I should
dry?
know that car, not quite, but close. I should know, and I should have been driving that car long enough to know that anything in that car that has fluid probably doesn't have enough fluid. So put in a little power steering fluid, quiet as a quiet thing.
Is there a specific kind of power steering fluid?
I bought power steering fluid.
Is there some in the car?
Yes,
Okay.
the rest, because I only used half a bottle.
Was he supposed to use a specific product?
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know. I don't know if it's standard power steering fluid or supposed to use. I don't know.
Are
what
there
you're
different
supposed to use
fucking
in it.
kinds. I don't know. I didn't
I
know it was
think
leaking
there's
power
just-
steering fluid.
It's leaking everything, man.
No, but I
It
thought
leaks
it
a
was
little bit of
really.
everything.
It leaks stuff that isn't even in it.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
It leaks. My car.
Frankly,
I
I
parked
didn't
next to
have
it,
it
and my
leak
car
that
leaks.
many things. I had it leak oil.
Yeah.
But honestly, it leaked. It leaks a lot of oil.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen my fucking garage?
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Well, I think maybe it leaks so much oil that you didn't notice the other fluids in the oil.
Maybe that's possible, but it really looks like oil.
I had to-
it's a lot of oil.
When
Yeah.
when we took it to Arizona to my stepmother's, I had to be careful to park it in the exact same spot,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't make.
Yeah, people. I
know
advise
people, I
people
don't-
to not put it in their driveway.
Yeah, that's what I don't. There's some people I just don't put it in their driveway because
Yeah.
I don't want to have to apologize for the mess it makes.
Yeah, no, I'm legit gonna have to completely refinish my garage floor when my garage floor was pristine, and then I got this stupid car and it's fucked.
But you know what?
So and everyone sees pictures like I'll put a picture of any car in my garage
And they
like,
notice that?
fucking leaking oil, huh? And I'm like, no.
But you know what the magic of that car is?
Everything else.
The magic of that car, the magic of that car is somebody says, my uncle's got a so-and-so that I put 220,000
Yeah.
miles on. And you go, yeah, you could drive 3 times that much and you'd still have 220,000 more to go.
Yeah, moon and back twice, motherfucker. People, you know how many people? I'm like a watch nerd now. People talk about the Omega Speedmaster because the astronauts took one to space and it works in space. Like great, awesome. The Omega Speedmaster watch, certified for space flight. It's like my shit has more miles on it than the lunar fucking module, homie. You know what I'm talking about? And that shit's to say that it works isn't entirely
Right. I don't really understand why we would care that it works.
Yeah.
If every other watch on the planet has not also been in space to prove that it doesn't work.
Well, they have
Then what's
space
the point?
simulated testing. This was back in the 60s. In the 60s, they tested a bunch of watches for
and what?
flight.
I'm sorry. What year is it now?
I know, but watch people have to live in the past. You have
They have to?
Yeah, because if watch
It's
people
true.
didn't live in the past, they would just have Apple watches, and that would be that.
Or they'd use their cell
We have
phones.
watches with old technology because we enjoy the old technology, like driving a stick shift car.
See, I always thought watches were they're man jewelry.
They are totally
Because men
Yeah.
can't really express themselves through accessories
Totally.
like women can.
Totally.
So I think that probably about 80% of the men who wear watches, including really expensive watches, don't ever look at them. Except in the morning when they put them on.
Well, okay, I'll count myself. If that's true, I'll count myself in the rare group. I look.
You
at
look
it.
at
You
it?
look at it for time?
to tell time.
Yeah.
Yes, I look at my watch to tell time.
Well,
back
I don't know
before-
about that, Matt. I'm going to need to see proof. I'm going to be watching you.
Boom.
That's
Time
not proof.
Fucking
Yeah,
told.
I
wait,
just put you on
without
the
looking
spot.
again. Without looking again. Without
yeah,
looking again. What time is it? No, you looked again. You looked again. Gotcha.
425.
So now I put sap on your car and I embarrassed you
Now you embarrassed-
about the watches.
Actually, you know what's fucked up? This is a Franck Mueller watch. If you actually look at it really quick, you're like, I don't know what that's.
You can't tell what time it is.
It takes a little second.
I thought about wearing a watch like 25 years ago, and I realized, but this is before cell phones, and I realized that I was never more than like 20 feet or 15 seconds from something that would tell me what time it was.
Huh, and yet you're
Fair.
late to everything.
Yeah, I am late to everything. It doesn't matter. That's the other
I
thing.
never
A
put
watch-
those two together.
Well, yeah, because a watch was just telling me how
tells me
late
you
I was.
underestimated the distance you were from the time
Yeah, I
telling
think that is true.
Everything thing is clock on the car, clock at the train station. There's cars.
Do you want to try?
everywhere.
Do you want to see if it feels good?
It won't because I have little girly dainty
Put
wrists.
it on.
You
Let's see.
just pretend.
Make it. It's
Oh my
gonna make
gosh,
you
I can
fall to
barely
the
lift the
floor.
thing.
Look at the thing.
It's made of titanium. Come on.
Well, first
Slide.
of all,
He doesn't even know how to
I don't know how to
operate
close
it.
it.
Oh, yeah.
He needs some
Small
help
side,
here.
Big side. Small side, big side.
Small side, big side.
look how look at those.
I agree.
Look at how much less manly I am than Matt. See, that's the thing. That's another reason I don't wear a watch. Besides the fact that I'm too cheap to spend the money and I'd rather buy like model train stuff, is it all it does is emphasize how
Dainty you are.
Yeah. how
that,
dainty I
that's,
am.
okay, that's not the right watch. But you know what's great?
You know what?
Really cool vintage, affordable watches, like the really cool vintage
Yeah.
shit, is dainty, and I can't wear it because it looks stupid on me. I have to buy new watches that are bigger, that are like big
Manly.
and expensive. Yeah, because that looks right on my stupid huge arm. But you and you and Spinelli can buy these really cool vintage watches that are like a vintage Rolex from like the 50s is awesome, and it's like a few $100s, and it would look real cool on you.
Tell them what happened when we tried to shop for antique wedding rings. Do you remember?
I remember the god awful ring that you wanted to wear, and it
Why? It wasn't that
it was a vintage ring.
It's the only thing I could
it had a
find.
giant ruby on it, flanked by two.
What do you mean, like what? Like
this-
an engagement ring, Ruby?
It was an engagement ring.
What are you, King Louis?
He said, "What do you think about that one for me?" And I don't like to come right out and say you're a moron.
Yo, you can't
you
wear
do.
a ring with a stone on it unless you win the Super Bowl.
It
Okay.
was.
I get diamond on
Look
that
at
one.
this one.
Oh,
Oh,
look
this
at-
is my
do you have a-
grandfather's.
Really?
Yeah,
This
that's
is-
right.
this is-
It's a family piece, so
Oh well, that's a very small
Yes.
stone. Okay,
But you
yeah,
should
no,
have seen
no.
But
this
what
thing that he
happened
wanted.
was-
You know, if,
So we're
if
look-
the stone stands tall,
It was off. It was clearly a woman's engagement ring.
And that's
yeah.
all I could find. Because all the men's rings were
Yeah.
for big manly fingers.
Yeah.
And the only thing that would fit my dainty little girl fingers were women's rings. So we're trying to find the most passably manly thing I could find and came up with Jack. So I bought a titanium band, which I
yeah,
eventually
yeah.
lost. And then this was left to me. This came through my father, and I was amazed that it
that
fit.
works. Yeah,
my
no,
grandfather's
family
a little
heirloom
loose.
is always
yeah.
the best if you can make
So
that work.
I lost the titanium band, so I just wear this as my
I'm
wedding
doing
ring.
I'm getting married next year. I'm doing
didn't know
cheap.
Oh,
that.
congratulations.
Thank you.
We didn't know.
Yeah, I'm doing cheap ring. Hannah gets
You
a
won't
good.
lose
She
it,
gets a
yeah.
good ring, but I'm doing like either carbon fiber, which her brother-in-law has, and it was like $300 and looks great.
Yeah.
And it's like if he loses it, totally
Doesn't matter,
replaceable.
right?
And the other one I like hematite a lot.
Oh yeah, lovely.
What's hematite?
Hematite it's a stone, and it looks like if mercury were a solid.
Sort of like a brushed titanium.
Oh, that's kinda
Yeah,
cool.
like a titanium.
We're gonna get it.
Yeah, so pull up a polished.
look at that.
A polished one.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
man.
like
Oh,
that.
that's kinda
it's
cool.
like it's a really, it's a shiny gray black. It looks very nice.
Whole ring
Very
or just
manly.
a stone?
No,
in a
just
ring?
the whole,
Ring,
just a
carve
solid
it out.
band.
You know, you
I'm
want
not a ring
one-
guy. I'm trying to like not wear too much rings.
Except for watches.
I said I'm
She
not
should
a
buy
ring
you
guy.
an engagement watch.
She didn't buy me an engagement anything. There's a hematite ring. That's,
Yeah, there it
that's
goes.
nice.
That's
like
cool. I don't know about the diamond cutting, but
But you probably spent, I'm guessing on her ring, you spent enough to keep the Lexus going for 3 months.
I probably did. Yeah, it was about 4 months worth of Lexus maintenance.
Oh, wow. So you spent like 50 grand on that ring.
Really? Yeah.
Wow.
I want to know whose logo it is on that bottom of that hematite ring picture. I don't know what is about that guy. Can you zoom
looks
in
very
on
happy.
zoom in on this guy? He's got he looks like a genie,
Like a little
with-
Buddha.
He looks like a genie Buddha at the bottom. I want to
He's
buy
like-
whatever that guy is selling. I like him very much. But so yeah, I think I'm gonna go cheap ring and that.
You want
then
something-
you buy two. You stick one in the drawer just in case.
bad idea.
It's like it never happened.
You want something, you want
don't
something
care.
light enough that it won't annoy you, heavy enough that you know it's there so you know when you forgot it.
Yeah.
Because the
yeah.
thing I always think is like, if I don't have my ring on and I have the spot, the big
Yeah.
band, I feel like I'm a douchebag who took his ring off. Because Robin tried
You
to
get a-
get
you
picked
get a
up
ring
by a guy.
tan?
I'm not wearing my ring.
You got picked up by a guy who had it was trying to pretend he wasn't married,
That
right?
happens all the time. That's not just one story.
Ring tan?
Yeah, men are idiots.
You
We
gotta-
knew that.
Right.
You need to get some like skin colored paint. Just dye that shit, son. I'm just kidding.
Speaking of shit that's not cheap,
Uh-oh.
Did you see that
Divorces?
DuPont Registry is saying a GTO sold for $80 million?
What type of a Ferrari GTO?
A 63 Ferrari GTO.
Oh shit! Is that
For
right?
how much?
This is $80 million.
Dollars.
Wow.
According to Ferrari Chat.
Is this from right now?
Yeah.
That just come through?
came out
80
today.
mil? Oh shit, let's look at this story. This is a good one for Haggerty, maybe. Chassis number 4135 GT placed 4th at its first race. That race just happened to be Le Mans 1963. Next, it won the 10-day Tour de France rally in 64. It has raced around the world, and in a post on Ferrari Chat, it said it is now sold for $80 million in a private sale. This sale, if true, breaks all previous records, including the famous $38 million sale. According to forum posts, of fucking course it is, the new owner of the car is David McNeil of WeatherTech.
Floor mats will get you there.
Floor mats not included, son. Damn.
Made in America.
80 million. It's the silver one. Silver.
It's pretty.
With no stripe and white. Oh no, I'm sorry. Silver with a Tour de France stripe.
I was gonna say there's a stripe clearly on that car, man.
Don't ever ask a colorblind guy to talk about.
Oh, you're
yeah.
Are you colorblind
colorblind.
too?
Yeah. I had
You
to
are
zoom in
just
to
a
see
broken man.
Oh
I'm
my
fucked.
god, that's just
but I
rude.
can read signs from far as fuck away though. I can read street signs from super
But
far
what
away.
if the writing is in the same color as the sign?
You know,
then
that's
can you
not-
see it?
Where in the world is the writing the same color
That's
as the
not
sign?
the question. If the writing is the same color as the sign,
If the writing is the same color as the sign, none
That's
of
a
us can
different
read
one,
it.
yeah,
though,
because it could be
I
like
think.
reflective
Oh, is it?
material
That's
or
a
something.
53.
No, but
No, that's-
he can't read
that's
like certain
incorrect.
colors
All
on other
GTOs are
colors.
63s.
Like if you come to a place where they have brown street signs with red writing, you're screwed, right?
Brown streets. Where are you going,
Dude,
I'm
we're
trying
just
to,
saying,
I'm trying
if
to
it
save my
happens-
wife. This is
Street signs
I don't
have
need
contrast
saving.
lettering. That's like a thing on street signs.
I had a teacher who found out he was
That's a thing.
colorblind when
Yeah.
he shellacked the watermark into the chairs that he made. They're looking at the chairs going, well, they're nice, but why didn't you sand out the watermark from the
That's
wood?
very
And that's
funny.
how he figured out he was colorblind.
That's
Jason's
really
colorblind.
funny.
Yeah, a friend of ours is a pilot. There's a
The really hard one is if you are driving, all right, away from the sunset, meaning the sun is setting behind you and is very low. A red light, a traffic light, a red light often looks like all three lights are just off.
Oh, it blends.
The red really
Fades.
doesn't pop in those new like LED lights that are much brighter, like the anti-fog ones or whatever those are. It's much better, but in like a traditional OG traffic light, that can like be a problem. So now it's like if I see that,
You stop.
I stop. Yeah, well, I definitely like approach with caution and analyze the situation around me.
Good,
for
good.
sure.
Yeah.
But like that is a scenario. The street signs are not a problem. That is the real scenario where colorblindness can fuck you up in a car.
I see.
Yeah. Speaking of cars, should we do cars?
yeah.
We've
Why
done-
not?
we've
It
done
is a
wedding
car
rings.
What else
related
could we talk about?
podcast. You're
I don't
back.
know. What have you been driving anything cool for automobile?
So, yeah, but the funny thing is, like, I don't drive as many cars as I used to. It's kind of
isn't
funny. I drive
that-
whatever they tell me.
That's kind of nice, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Only driving cars that you actively choose to drive is like, filtering out like a Twitter feed or something, and you end up like in a bubble. Like, whereas if
Right.
someone assigns you cars, like it's kind of nice actually.
But I've been assigned like 2 minivans. I went into
Are they trying to tell you
I
something?
went into Mark Recton, who's the
Look, Aaron
he's
Gold likes
Motor Trend.
buses. Give him all the fucking
That's
vans.
right.
That's what they did.
Aaron
I
will
s-
drive everything that we hate.
I went in yesterday. I'm like, okay, I'm writing up the Sienna for them. I was just given the keys to the Odyssey. Is this a message? And Mark goes, they're hazing you.
Oh, it's great though. Sienna versus Odyssey? Lay it down for me, man, right now.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
seriously, lay it down. Sienna
I didn't
versus
drive.
Odyssey.
I didn't drive the Odyssey long enough to really. You know what? It's like they're both minivans and they're fine.
One's Toyota and Honda, right?
Yeah,
It's
the
like the same
Toyota's
thing.
ancient, but I can hear the sound of people dropping off the podcast. You know what? The Sienna
know
is
what?
ancient, but it gets points for trying. It like has an A for effort, and it has the coolest thing
Gets
because
a participation trophy.
it does, and it's got this one cool thing. If you stop the car and press the camera button, it does the virtual thing where the cameras give you a spin around the outside of the car. So if I see a Sienna now,
Wait. What do you mean they give you a spin?
you know how you have the overhead view of the car.
the bird's eye, which I love the bird's eye. You
But
guys
this
about
thing,
that?
it does a virtual. It basically
A walk
rotates the
around?
cat. It gives you a virtual walk around.
You can see
on
if
the
somebody's
screen.
hiding beside your car.
Really?
Oh, I thought it was just. I didn't
don't
even think
know.
about
It's
that.
like
I thought it
FBI
was-
agent mode?
Maybe.
I thought it was see if you parked in the spot right.
Is this like the
Oh.
750, the BMW, where it actually does the backgrounds and you do a full circle around the car?
Where did I saw a car that you could spin the I think the A6 does something where you can pan around. This is a little less sophisticated, but it just does a spin. I use it to see if I'm between the lines, which the older I get, the less I am. But and so now if I see a Sienna and it's parked crooked, I just want to glue a big note on their windshield going, there is no excuse.
Like that?
Yeah, but then no, not quite like that. But it spins.
This
You
one,
gotta be able to search Toyota.
This is the BMW one where it apparently has an out-of-body experience.
It does.
Yeah,
We saw that. We saw that in the A6. We saw the new A6. I drove that. Yeah, the embargo lifted on that. I think. I can't remember. I think the
would
embargo's
like
Is that? Yeah.
a Tim of my own who just sits and just looks
And
up
Googles
everything
things?
I say so that I can then have
I am
proof.
available.
Well,
I'm not cheap, but I'm available.
it also that goes in the show. Like
I
when he
love
pulls up a
it.
picture, it goes in the video show so the audience can see it too.
See if you can find one for Toyota.
For the Sienna?
For the Sienna.
Or does the smoking tire computer only search for BMW?
It only searches for German cars.
You search for Toyota and self-destructs.
That's very funny. The Odyssey, I took Hannah on our second date in an Odyssey press car.
And it still lasted?
Yeah, it was great. And I showed her the vacuum. It was love.
Wow.
Was that a hint?
We both
Going,
really,
hey, this car really
we both
sucks,
love minivans.
huh?
Do you remember when I owned an Odyssey?
No.
I had a 2009 Odyssey that I absolutely loved. It was like our crew van, and it was such a great like road trip vehicle. It was so comfortable, and it was just really, really nice. And the seats were great. It
It's
drove
comfortable.
really well.
You can take a nap.
You can take a nap.
She's all about the napping.
That's my favorite thing. I can take all of my stuff with me
and then have a nap.
and take a nap.
I owned a 95 Voyager. Not just
Okay.
anyone, the Voyager Sport.
Wait. Was 95 the last year of the boxy one
Last
before
year of
they
the box.
bubbled it?
Yes.
96, they bubbled it out, right?
96, they bubbled it.
Yeah.
I loved my van. I loved it. And the joke I used to use in my van reviews is because I met a lot of women who were like, I don't want to drive a van, it's a mommy mobile. But I always said men love minivans because they are a sign of virility.
Yeah.
It does. It says.
You can
it says.
fuck it in.
Yep. It says. No. Beyond that, it says. Listen. It says.
This is
my
how many babies I
plumbing
can produce."
Works so well. I needed a van to haul all of my prodigy.
It's not your plumbing that produces the baby stuff. So
My plumbing does its
I
part.
think you've been doing it wrong.
It's considered the plumbing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the close
part
enough.
of the plumbing.
the reproductive system.
It's an accessory to plumbing.
I see, because the pipe runs alongside of it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just pleased.
Okay.
I'm just pleased that with my spouse, the word pipe came
It's
up.
coaxial.
I rented a minivan in Hawaii for a surf trip, and it was dope.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just slide the board right down
like
the middle.
it.
Yeah.
And they drive. So I used to deliver. I think I've told you this. That I delivered minivans to a couple of Hasidic car dealers in Brooklyn.
L'chaim.
Did I ever tell you that?
No,
Out of my
but please,
stepfather's dealership.
please do.
It's
That
one
was
of his
my-
favorite stories.
That was. It's. I
That was
love
the
these
best
guys.
those vans ever smelled.
I used to drive. So I had to drive them down the FDR Drive. Brand new '96 Grand Caravans.
It's like living in luxury at the
It
time.
was. You could really book in those vans. You can really make serious time in a minivan.
I had my first it wasn't really my car. I learned to drive really, and I sort of was like lent. My mom had a 96 Mercury Villager.
I remember those.
Nautica edition.
Oh,
Do you remember
those
the
are
Nautica
that-
edition? It looked like a capsized sailboat.
Yes. Do you remember those? They had the blue stripe.
It was the
and
blue.
yellow
That one,
stripes.
second from the
Let me see.
top. Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Nautica
had a
edition, white wheels, sailing stripe.
This is going to make me very happy if you answer in the affirmative. Did you wear a little sailor suit when you drove it?
I first off wasn't am a big sailor, so I didn't wear a sailor suit. Like I didn't dress like a seaman. If that's what you mean.
You dressed like
I sailed, and I had a little sailboat called a laser. You know, laser.
Yeah.
It's like a faster
Yeah.
version of a sunfish, kind of. It's like a 15-foot single person sailboat, and I would load it up onto the roof of that.
The Nautica edition?
Yes.
Yes.
And go to fucking
Man.
sailing camp.
And you really didn't
Wait,
wear
can you buy a laser
sailor
for like
outfit?
$800? Was that
Come
you just found? No. You can't buy a laser for $800. That was like the sale or something.
It
That's
says.
some
That's-
different.
Oh no, that's the
600
sale.
Oh, yeah. Was it the sale?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. There it is. That's the laser 2. Those are laser 2s. They have two sales.
So
the
I
laser one that's just a single set.
I never owned a Nautica, but in the 90s, I had a shirt that was a knockoff that was pretty much the same colors, the blue and the yellow with the
Pacifica.
Yeah, exactly. The knockoff of your van in a shirt.
But actually, the Villager minivan had pretty good steering, and for the time, it was kind of fast too.
It was a Nissan, wasn't it?
It was the Nissan Mercury co-brand. I don't know actually who
built it.
I can't remember who actually built it.
Yeah, Tim built it.
Tim, can you Wikipedia the Mercury Villager and see if it was Nissan or Mercury?
Poor Tim is over here frantically Googling cool cars, trying to get them off of this subject.
I pay him to speed Google.
I'm going to assume, my guess is, without looking at the screen, my guess is Nissan, because otherwise it would have been a Windstar clone.
That's
a
very good point. Mercury
Manufactured by Nissan. Marketed by Ford.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's why it was good.
But we got to look at engineering. Yeah.
That's why it was good.
The new Nissan Quest is the really weird looking one. It's super Japanesey, like a box.
Well, remember we took the trip in the 2005 Quest?
Yeah,
that was the
like
original one
Star
that had,
Trek.
Yes, it was a red and black interior, and it had the round pedestal.
Oh my
with all the
gosh.
buttons on it. And every time my sister-in-law was like, "Turn on the air conditioner."
Adopted by Koenigsegg.
And I would go you want air conditioning? Yes. Make it so. Engage. That was totally the Star Trek van. And then
I need to get on the new Pacifica on the racetrack, because we take minivans on racetracks. We use them for camera cars, and we go fucking fast.
I've done that.
The Chrysler Town and Country with the sport package was the best on the racetrack. It had the best steering and the best brakes, and we would mob these things.
Sienna is still my favorite, because when Top Gear USA was doing the studio things, one of my jobs was to take the VIPs around the track for a thrill ride around the track, and I can drive 6/10 on a good day, but the Sienna was my standing favorite. And do you remember when Mitsubishi had that right-hand drive Delica in the States?
Yes, I love a Delica.
Mm-hmm. I had the Delica,
Why we talked about Delicas on every episode?
Come up all the time.
Every episode of the show.
And you know what? Now
somebody mentions a Delica.
I see every time I'm in Vancouver, I see one.
There's 15 of them at every Radwood show.
Yeah, they're coming down. They're 25 years old, so they're trickling down to the States.
Aren't they $9,000, and they're amazing?
I kind of want one.
I would love to have one. My folks have a place in South Carolina. I'd love to fucking just drop one on their property and be like, this lives here now. I really fucking should. Why don't I own a Delica in South Carolina? Oh, my mom and dad. Boy, I can't wait to leave this in your driveway.
And so then what? You go to South Carolina and drive it around and then park it back in their driveway?
Yeah, we go on vacation down there. They got a house in the middle of the woods in South Carolina.
I love it.
It's currently populated by RX 300s. My mother was an RX 3. I have emphasized the was an RX 300 evangelist. Up until they put the fucking dumb mouse in there, and then she was out.
Then it was
Audis. Then it became Audis.
I do love an Audi.
So there's a car that I can't talk about because this is live yet. Although it's not a drive impression, is it?
The words are coming out of your mouth.
Don't
honey.
incriminate yourself, but
I don't
also, do.
Give him enough time, and he will.
We have a healthy relationship with Automobile Magazine.
There's a picture out there. Let's say theoretically, I drove the new Lexus ES.
Ooh.
Last week.
I mean, listen,
But
this is
earlier this week.
Guys, this is a hot scoop.
So theoretically, I'm not talking about driving impressions. Everybody's seen the inside of the car, and they have
I
that.
haven't. Can
they
you
have
just pull up a picture of the. Is it 2019?
2019 Lexus ES. Because then I
ES?
know if I can talk about it.
You know what I love? An ES 250. You ever see an ES 250 around? The one
Not
that was
anymore.
the one that was the
Camry.
boxy Camry.
Yeah.
There's some old lady in the neighborhood who drives one. And I love it every time I see it.
Maybe
Wow! Look
Okay.
is that the ES interior?
That is the ES.
Wow,
interior.
Lexus is now der sporty.
That's the F Sport, or as I insist. Well, actually, so I always
that
refer.
is a fucking sporty interior.
It's nice, right?
Let's see the outside.
That's aggressive for an ES. The new Camry is mega aggressive too.
Yeah,
The
totally.
new Camry's got gills and shit.
Yeah, it's like all box. Like I call it Mad
aggressive.
Max. They Mad Maxed it.
That's
They Mad Max.
They put the sharp edges
it's
on
real
it.
sharp edged. Yeah. Shredder. It's the shredder aesthetic.
Didn't you have a Civic that had that? And you're like, do you like that?
Oh,
And
the
I said
new
it
Civic
looks
is
like
shredder
it's,
as well,
Right.
yeah.
It looks like it's. I mean, I can tell it's marketed for a 25-year-old boy.
I think I said in my not in my new
Is that the new one? Yeah, the new Camry. That's not even.
It's a Camry though.
Yeah, I know, but is there
that's
one
not
that's
even as-
more aggressive than
yeah.
that?
You got to search for XSE.
XSE, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's the XSE.
It's really. I got one as an Uber actually. It was solid. Yeah, it was actually nice.
It actually
drive it?
drives halfway decently, and they sent us to
allowed to
drive
talk
on the
about
track. The Camry, I can talk. Camry's old news.
Oh, okay.
Can you put the Lotus 400 tune on that bitch?
Well, you could probably get the supercharger and shit. I mean, it would require some
awesome.
funky. I have an Evora 400 right now, which is a supercharged Camry.
Oh, I think
engine.
you were going to tell me you bought one.
No, I didn't. I didn't buy one, but I would consider it. Actually, it's quite nice. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I never understood the Top Gear phrase feels like it's built in a shed until I drove the Evora, and it does feel a little bit like maybe all the bits of the interior maybe are just boxes covered in fabric stuck on with Velcro, but the way it drives is
When did you
amazing.
last drive one?
I haven't driven one since they launched the S.
Okay, so it's a while ago.
It's been a few years.
I think they have improved it since then.
I might be able to ask for one now.
You probably can, and they'd probably give it to you. And it's. I actually think it's simple, but it doesn't feel shitty at all. I think it feels nice.
You know what? I didn't mind that because the car's just amazing. And I love
amazing
the
And
fact
yet,
that
it's the
drive.
first thing you bring up about it, so maybe you did mind it.
It is amazing to drive.
And I
did
love the
3
fact
track
that- yeah.
days in it. It's rocking. Look at there, and look at that shot on the right. That looks like a video game still from. That's from Sonoma. Sonoma's a very tough track. That car did really good.
I get to drive it. It was a press launch. I get to drive it at Laguna Seca.
Oh,
and
I
I'm
went
not
there too.
worthy, but like I've gotten to drive some really good cars at Laguna Seca, and getting to drive. I'm sorry, is it still Mazda Raceway?
No, now it's WeatherTech.
Oh, okay,
Wow.
good. So
It's
Dean
WeatherTech,
Case, if
David
you're listening to this,
Yeah, it's WeatherTech Raceway now.
like
yeah.
what? I mean, how friggin' lucky am I? Get to drive a friggin' Lotus Evora at Laguna Seca. That's been like one of the great thrills.
Well, here's what's interesting is I did as well. Keep going down, Tim. There's a picture from the corkscrew. One more. Keep going. There it is. That's a great picture. Shout out to Got Blue Milk, the trackside photographer. That's really what they're called, Got Blue Milk. But I mean, that's a beautiful composition for a trackside photographer.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You're
You're a little deep in the paint there, aren't you?
bro, Zanardi line.
Is
No, that's good.
The tree's still there, right?
I take curb there. No, the tree is gone.
Oh shit.
And so as you come over the hill, so for those who have never driven Laguna Seca, which I assume is most people, actually, or even if you've driven it in a video game, as you come up the hill after turn 6 towards the corkscrew, there's a big tree. And you drive it's a blind crest.
So you're like looking like
You
you're
look at the tree.
right at
the
the
tree's
tree.
gone, so there's nothing left to look at up there.
And the thing is, like, so you take professional instruction, and you expect them to say something like, okay, you want to go in here about 3 degrees of break, and then turn into, and the actual instruction all the professionals give you is they say turn left, drive towards the tree, and when you can see pavement, turn right.
Yeah.
That's exactly the instruction they give you.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And
Well, not anymore because there's no
Not
tree.
anymore because there's no tree.
The tree.
And then
There's
it was
no tree at the
drive,
top. Yeah.
and then you drove under a certain letter for when you came at the straightaway. I can't remember, but now it's going to be different.
Under the bridge.
Yeah, because it doesn't say Mazda Raceway anymore.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that one. The one I know for bridges is under the road Atlanta Bridge, which is a very fast blind crest.
I've never driven it.
Road Atlanta's that's a until you know where you're going, that's a real scary corner because you're going really. I mean, even the corkscrew I think the corkscrew is not hard, or I think it's harder in video games than it is in real life. I think that your depth perception gets wonky.
Everything, and
Absolutely.
without
Yeah.
the feedback. Yeah.
No, but in real life, like as long as you know where to put your tires and don't blow the braking zone, it's totally fine and very, very fun. Where's that? That was that Laguna?
I don't know. It doesn't look like
no,
it.
that looks like that's Road Atlanta. That no, I don't know what that is. Anyway,
Not Laguna.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it says it's
but you should get one, and it did really well.
An Evora
Laguna
S?
Seca. No, so at
A
Laguna,
Laguna? I should get
you
a
should
Laguna Raceway?
Get one as a press car and take it to Laguna.
Go to Laguna.
It blows the noise though. Like it blows the noise, the noise limit.
It's too noisy. It's a Camry engine. You just put a
It's
Camry
fucking
exhaust
loud.
on
The
it.
exhaust is like 18 inches long. It's
That's
titanium.
the best thing I like about that is so you're at a race, and you you blow something big in the engine and it costs you $27 in parts.
Yeah. Well, I drove 3 track days. 2 of them I had the air conditioning on full crank, and the car just doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care. It's the only thing was at Laguna was 97 decibels, and the limit was 90. So you had to go through turn 5, the uphill corner, in 4th gear instead of 3rd. And this car has a lot of positive qualities, but low end torque is not one of them. And so it was like a huge difference, but it was like 4 seconds between 3rd gear and 4th gear through that corner.
Wow.
Yeah, because it affects your run up the entire rest of a huge hill. It's like 25 seconds of your 2-minute lap is going up this big hill. And if you're doing it like
Slow
in 3rd gear,
right.
I'm like, you're going fast. In 4th gear, I'm getting like drag raced by a Miata. That happened once.
At Laguna?
Yeah, in this car. No, that happened 2 days ago. Yeah. What else is happening? So your minivan competition is still up in the air.
It's a single. Well, I want to get the line in there. I scripted a video, which we're not going to be doing, but that was one of the great points about the.
That's why he's mentioning it.
That was the great line I want is what can you say about the Sienna? Same engine as a Lotus Evora. Gotta love that.
I mean, yeah, that's true. It is a base Evora that they
Honda
don't make
can't say
anymore.
that.
Honda can say, doesn't the NSX use a version of that engine?
Yes, but it's their own car.
Well, technically.
Yeah, but it's their own car. Lexus uses a version of the...
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, okay.
Lotus didn't go, maybe we should use the Honda 3.5.
No, but didn't Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus?
Gesundheit.
Actually, that might have been. I think that was Nissan.
Do you remember that? Just remember, up until 2.5 months ago, when I was plucked from obscurity, I was reviewing Versus. Okay, so let's
This is a
keep it a
bump.
nice low level.
Yeah, was the Sienna and the Odyssey both $50,000 vans?
I didn't even look. They had to be. I didn't look at the price of the Odyssey. I don't remember what the Sienna was. I got it down somewhere, but yeah, they were top of the line. Everything, but the Sienna does have the reclining seats like the Kia. The
reclining rear,
the reclining second row seats.
Yeah.
What when they're not on camera, the Hyundai America people refer to as the chairman's seat in the Ecos. Yeah, it's the chairman's seat. So it has chairman's seats.
God,
in the,
you just said it again.
yeah. Well, I'm not a Hyundai employee and I'm not on the clock. So
I was just thinking, does Hyundai make a van? No, Kia, the Sedona,
it's
right?
Kia, but when they had it in the
Yeah, there we are.
Ecus?
Ecus.
It's
No.
Equus.
Equus?
There we go, boys. There
It's
we go.
Equus?
It is. And I know that
Who fucked up? Why do I think it's
Aaron
Ecus?
did. Aaron fucked up.
No, but
He's
I've
been
said
saying
Ecus
that.
long
Look,
before that.
We pulled the head guy into this argument.
Yeah. So okay.
And
Is
So
the
I
head guy
was right.
Korean or white?
no.
The
John
American
Krafchick.
head guy.
Oh, Krafchick.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he
I was-
said Equus.
So I
It's
have
Equus.
I have a cousin on her side of the family in Michigan who is an engineer for Hyundai Kia. Now works for GM, so I can safely say this. And we were debating what to call it. So just to kind of be impressive, I'm good. I got mine. You were gonna offer me a water anyway.
You said it before I could. I'll offer you this one.
I texted John Krafchick and said, "How do you pronounce the name?" And he texted me back.
Okay.
I miss him.
He's a
And I
very
was
good
right.
guy. What's he doing right now?
I don't know.
He went to TrueCar, and then I don't recall
what he
after
did
that.
next, yeah.
But he was a good guy.
He sided with me, so he's aces
All right,
in
it's
my
Equus.
book. And that's horse. It's an
That it
Equus,
is.
right? So that's
Yeah. It's mean to say that about women, though.
that they're horses.
Horse.
That they're horse.
Yeah. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah,
It
I
didn't
don't-
make
that
any
doesn't
sense.
really- that doesn't
It
work.
really bombed. It was
Yeah,
a really
it's
bomb.
really because I have to tell you, as a woman,
a balmy
when your
joke.
voice gets a little hoarse and gravelly, men tend to dig that shit.
Then you'd be abroad.
Because like Katharine Hepburn, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so you need the
men
mid-
do like they like that.
What do they call it? The Mid-Atlantic accent? That accent that didn't really exist ever from it's the 40s movie accent. Which I think
the
is
one they
called-
all use in the movies. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. You're you and
I can do
Spinelli-
your commercial in that if you like.
You and Spinelli could give us like 3 hours in that.
And
That
we
was-
would.
That's Katharine Hepburn on Golden Pond right there. That's Aaron's impression. That was
No,
What?
but I can't.
Yeah.
I
It was a
Golden Pond,
very
I
good
can't
quote.
quote it.
Give me a Hepburn.
Wait, I have to think about what she said. He's like an old lion. He just has to remind himself he can still roar.
That's very good. That's
I
nice.
won him in a contest. He was the booby prize. And then my favorite. You're my knight in shining armor, and don't you forget it. We're gonna get back on your horse and go, go, go.
That sounds like from The Aviator.
That was on Golden Pond.
Oh, on Golden
That
Pond.
movie still makes me cry.
But I just
Well, you
Watch
missed
it with Aaron.
Yeah,
and
watch
so
it
you
with
can see him
me.
cry.
You'll
date?
cry too.
can we share a bucket of popcorn together?
You can.
Yeah, totally. I'm into that.
Is it how far back are we talking about?
1982, 83, I think, somewhere in there.
On
Oh,
Golden
it's
Pond.
that. It's that new with Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah, it's she and
She's
Henry
an old
Ford.
lady.
Oh, she's an old lady in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a story about old people
Jane
romance,
Fonda.
which becomes nearer and nearer to my heart as every year goes on.
Do you keep relating to those like Morgan Freeman movies that are like one more time around, like whatever?
You know, when
Morgan.
you started wearing reading glasses, that was a moment for me. And you look adorable in the reading glasses, but I'm going, okay, that's how I know I'm aging.
Reading glasses can be very cute.
She's
I
really
almost
cute with the
look
reading
forward
glasses.
to. I traded glasses one day with Johnny Lieberman. He put on my sunglasses and I put on his nerd glasses. And I was like, yo, I kind of look good in this. I don't wish that I wore glasses, but I'm sort of like.
Oh, you could be one of those guys that wears the glasses.
Don't even
just the
say
frames.
it.
Just the
Don't
frames,
even
man.
I thought you were gonna say the unprescription clears.
No, I like.
Oh, yeah, the
no,
planos.
but I like. Just go with just the frame.
Oh, wow, we got a bunch of
this is
super chats.
This is a cool frame. I'm just gonna wear it.
Just the frame.
Own it. Own it.
What am I, the singer of the Strokes?
You could be.
Actually, no. The Strokes is the wrong band. Vampire Weekend. It's a Vampire Weekend joke. No.
No. Sorry,
it.
I don't know who Vampire Weekend is.
Oh, you don't.
But if there's an
No.
on
If
Golden
you
Pond
did,
joke, we're
you
your
wouldn't like
guys.
them.
If I did, I wouldn't like them.
No.
Are they? Maybe they say
They're everything.
bad thing about women. And
No. That's no. They're everything that one wouldn't like about Brooklyn. All the bad things about Brooklyn, not the good.
What's
thing.
bad about Brooklyn? Hipsters or
Yeah, it's like the hipsterist. It's the most. First off, hipsters have some good taste and shit. So I don't fault all hipsters for all things.
Okay.
But this is like the
the
distilled,
poser hipsters?
the distilled essence of musical hipster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hipsters
They have a
annoy her.
song that is called Cape Cod Quassa Quassa.
Please sing it for me.
I don't. No.
Come on.
It's not a singable song, actually. I really mean this.
Every
Anyone who-
song is a singable song.
No, it's not.
Does it have words?
Yeah, but, I mean, yes, but it's just like
Then it can be sung.
it's like one of these weird, offbeat, like hollowy, weird, stupid songs.
But you can still sing it.
And you like them?
No.
Oh, I'm just wondering. I'm like, wait, does he
No.
like this band?
No, I
I don't
don't.
get it.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, 'cause I
need to
wouldn't-
be be put on back on track immediately
Okay, Tim's
because I
gonna-
have driven the fucking ship. You know that in the Mediterranean when that cruise ship captain
Yes.
was like, "Yo,
Let's go wave at that
watch
island."
this shit." That's what I've just done.
Well, with less loss of
Let's
life.
just pull
it's
from
really not as
let's
serious.
pull from the crowd because they fucking can drive this ship better than me right now. I'm having a rough steering day.
Is that okay? Do the numbers?
That's how much they donated.
They donated.
They donated, yeah.
So I
the
don't wanna
deal is
draw-
with
I
this
don't wanna-
thing called Super Chat. We don't need to dwell on the numbers, but the thing called Super Chat, where you can donate to ask your questions, and in which we will get to all of these questions. If you donate, we will get to it. I promise. And then some people just donate money, just
because?
if this number, or what the goal is, it's not going to happen
That's
overnight.
not a
But
question, though.
that's a callback. That one's a callback to an old bit.
Oh.
If it
Because that was quite the investment to say that.
I know, it's great. I love that guy Brendan Abel who gave us $5 to say soccer ball. That's an old time listener. That's an old time reference.
I need your friends.
I don't know him. That's not a friend.
Can you imagine?
That's a fan.
By the way,
That's a
can
real
you
fucking
imagine
fan
if,
right there.
If I could find somebody who would pay me money to say things that I'd said 60 million times 10 years ago,
Yes.
I would be in pig
Royalties.
shit
That's
heaven.
a royalty on
Yeah.
that joke. I don't even remember how that shit started, bro.
Maybe Brendan can
I don't
remind
even
us.
remember what-
Brendan.
Someone wants
some
to
more money in there
remind me
and
what
tell
the
us what that
soccer ball
happened.
joke was originally about, because honestly, I can't remember.
I'll
No,
match that donation if he'll tell us what it's
For
all
real.
about.
For real. All right. Hang on. Edmund wants to know, what do we think of the new Mitsubishi Eclipse with that tail light right through the middle of the rear windshield? Oh, looks
Okay,
like a
can I-
Civic Type R from the back.
Can I answer that? Okay,
It's a
so I haven't
crossover. It's a
I haven't driven
crossover,
I haven't driven the Eclipse Cross or whatever
Is it
they're calling
hybrid?
Eclipse Cross.
No, I don't
It
think
is
so.
the Eclipse
Eclipse
Cross, isn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't
That's-
driven
oh,
it yet, but I've driven other
disaster.
cars. I've driven other cars that have
Call
the
it
thing in the
something
middle.
else.
You don't like the name?
Yeah, that have the what in the middle?
That have the thing in the middle. What
means
he's
something.
talking
the
about?
CRZ,
Yes.
Honda CRZ, and
Even though
CRX.
I just drove a Clarity that has something like that.
Oh yeah, the Clarity.
The Clarity actually has a window into the trunk, which
Doesn't
is kind
the
of cool.
Prius have that too?
Yeah,
think the
that's why I
Prius
asked if
has
it was
it.
a hybrid.
So
It's
the
not that
only way,
weird.
so yeah, you don't. The only time it's a problem, the car I remember it being a problem on is the Lancer Evolution, and it has to do with my height because at my height and the Evo seat was not adjustable up and down.
It blocked.
It blocked high beams.
Yeah.
and the car jolts like crazy. So it's like you're getting Morse code in your back window.
That's not good.
So when it blocks the lights and the light gets brighter and dimmer,
Yeah.
other than that, you just don't notice it.
Cars with wings have that problem too. Like the Cayman GT4, the wing blocks your entire rear view. Sharkworks actually sells a taller set of stanchions that is not meant to make the car look more racy. It's meant to fucking help
So you can
see
see out the back of it?
It raises the wing 5 inches and you can actually see. The taillight through the middle of the rear windshield is not as weird as it looks.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
think
that like the CRX?
if they called, why didn't they
Yeah,
call
CRX
this?
has
The,
that.
yeah, why didn't they call this thing anything else? It looks like a fucking okay car, but like Eclipse, that's what you've got.
That name meant something. For
know
a
what
while, it meant something. Now
Here's
it
what
means
it-
nothing.
Oh, we'll call it Eclipse and everybody will buy it.
Here's what it probably is. I bet you they own still the trademark to Eclipse,
And then they don't have to redo
and
anything.
they don't have to
Yeah.
go find a new word. Finding a global trademark word that is like in English and not is so hard.
Okay, but go to Wikipedia for Mitsubishi and look at a list of the names of cars that they own.
You gonna say
They own some
please?
fantastic.
Outlander, Endeavor,
Yeah, they own some.
Diamante.
Diamante
What does
would have been a good
Diamante
one.
mean? Is that mean anything in another language?
I don't know, but it was a great car. It was a great
It
looking
was a good car.
List
You gotta
of
look at past
history,
models. They got
list
some
of
real
models. Mitsubishi Motors. Wait, go up. There was a link there, right there. Mitsubishi Motors is what we want. Yeah, do they have some really good?
Oh yeah, and their Hyundai, the one that Hyundai built, I can't remember the name of the car. They have Praesis, which was the Hyundai Excel or Precis.
Oh man,
I knew somebody owned it. They have
all the
some
Diamond Stars
fantastic
motors.
names.
The Pajero. I love the Pajero.
Well, you know what Pajero or whatever it is means, right?
How do you spell it? Wait, go back.
Yeah.
Pajero. It was the Montero. And apparently in Spanish, it means one who masturbates. So we had it when I was working for the magazine in England. The British version was the Shogun,
Yeah,
and everybody
yeah.
called it the wanker. Because Pajero was like Buick LaCrosse.
Oh, partnership with Jackie Chan. I forgot about that. He was in the Cannonball Run with the Mitsubishis.
The
Jackie Chan.
yes, what was
Remember
what was the car? Shoot, it was the Chrysler Conquest.
Yeah.
Mitsubishi Starion.
Stallion.
Yeah, Starion. We know that
The
story.
Mitsubishi Stallion.
But we won't tell that because you would like to continue getting donations, so we won't recount that
I
story.
would probably get donations from an entirely different part of the country. if I started making-
Hey, listen, they got Trump in office, so don't knock it till you try.
What else we got there, Timmy?
Suck a ball.
What are the chances to get called up to join Chris at Top Gear? Probably. You hear LeBlanc left Top Gear?
Yeah, I saw
That's a thing?
I saw the Sniff Petrol article on it.
Yeah, he wants to stay home with this dude. Filming that show, from what I've heard from Harris, filming that show, the travel and shit is extraordinary, and the shoots are really long, and you're gone like a lot. And fucking LeBlanc has another show.
Yeah,
he's
I can
on.
imagine.
What's that other show called?
But don't even ask me.
It's called Episodes.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's
We're
been
Netflix
canceled.
only. We cut the cord.
He's on another show that apparently does well, and I can't imagine. I know why he would not be. He's famous and rich enough that he doesn't have to put up with a lot
Yeah.
of things you probably have to put up with.
Driven
to
the
make
cars,
Top
we're good.
Gear.
We're done.
Yeah. I think the chances are fucking zero.
But you know what?
It's not.
You'd
You
be
don't
good.
say zero.
Less than 1%.
You'd be good though.
They probably.
If you wore those frames without the,
if I wore
They
frames
would
without
love you.
lenses in them, it would really help.
Yeah,
If
they
I
would
do
love
it-
you.
Maybe I'll do an audition
Let's
where
get
I
you
wear
a shtick
glasses
here,
and a
yeah.
scarf.
That's
An
what you were
ascot.
missing.
Yeah. It would be fun. I'd love to work with Chris on Top Gear. I'd feel bad, because we worked on together on Drive, that we would be doing it without the Drive people. If that would be sad, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So, what?
Dan Neal might be looking for
Dan
one.
Neal. Did he get let go?
No,
What?
no, he didn't.
Oh,
That's-
okay. It's like, what happened to Dan? No, he said he just drove something real crazy. I just saw a tweet that he said he was out driving something that was like $1 million.
You can't do stuff without a subscription anymore.
I know it's hard to. I want to like share his writing because it's so good. But
He's
like
so good.
It's paywall. He wrote something awesome the other week, and I felt bad. I was like, that was it. He drove the Senna.
Oh man, I bet it was friggin' hilarious.
I pay for that newspaper, so I'm going to read that later. I'm sorry, the rest of you who don't.
Favorite thing of mine he ever wrote, it was a Camaro line. He said, I come from, was it South Carolina or South Dakota, where the state flower is a Camaro wrapped around a telephone pole.
Around a telephone pole. State flag. It's the state flag.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
He's a good balance between redneck and high society. I really enjoy it. Really enjoy the man. I want Dan Neal to come back very, very soon. He needs to come visit. What else have we there? Let's see. Look up the hack where he cut a plastic.
This is relative to
this is about the power steering pump.
Lexus, yeah.
Oh, you can put the bottom half of a plastic bottle and put it under the power steering pump so the fluid doesn't leak onto the alternator. So like the power steering pump leaks fluid onto the alternator, which kills the alternator.
But it doesn't, because I think on the Lexus, because I spent a lot of time with the front end of your Lexus, I think the alternator is top center, and the problem Rob thinks is all the oil's coming out of that engine cover. Out of that front, there's a front cover to the engine, and that's where the oil's coming out and seeping into the alternator and ruining the alternators.
Oil could be coming from anywhere, but it happens to be a known issue with LS400s in general that power steering pumps leak fluid onto alternators.
I wonder how it does that. Maybe I have the placement wrong.
Maybe it drips down a thing and makes a fucking, I don't know, one of those Rube Goldberg
Let's go
hats.
out there right now.
Yeah, let's go look.
A Rube Goldberg
Although harder
hat
to see because Rob also bought you an engine cover.
Oh, he did. It looks good. I saw the picture. I haven't opened it yet. Let's see.
Too busy looking at the sap on the hood to look under the hood. I know.
Oh, someone asked about which car to buy. I think he asked a Panamera Turbo maybe or an E63, and he went with the E63.
Good.
And
Good.
Yes, I think Jeff made a wise choice, right? Because a Panamera 4S Sport Turismo, which is lovely, was like $150,000 for a non-turbo Panamera. That's a lot of money. E63 is a little cheaper and much faster than the 4S.
E63 it has a higher awesome content because you're not just some schmagegi who bought the expensive one. Like you went out of your way to buy the good, noisy, and kudos if you get the wagon.
He got the wagon. He got the E63 AMG S wagon.
Well, he spent that much and that's all he donated? Come on. Step it up, Jeff. We know what you paid.
Cough it up.
We know what your lease payments are like.
That's funny.
So I drove an E63 a couple of generations ago, and it was blue and silver with a beige interior and a 7th backward-facing seat. It was the most mommiest of mommy mobiles. But you'd start it up and you go, blah, 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 and largely visual joke. So I came in to like some like, and then I slow down, and as I come through the intersection, there's a cop on the other side just going, I just looked back and forth wildly for those listening. And of course, no one even notices the blue station wagon with a roof rack just gliding through the intersection.
They are
Jeff, you have good taste.
Mad DL. But not if you have ears.
Yeah, it took me a second, but I know what that means.
You have ears, they're not DL in the least.
No.
Good. Congratulations, Jeff. I hope you
right
enjoy your
choice.
car.
Drive it in good health.
Austin wants to know, is Apple CarPlay worth a couple of $100 to retrofit to my Mazda? The MMI multimedia interface is kind of wonky. I assume you have one of the more recent ones that actually has a full display, which I've used, and I agree. Kind of wonky is a good description for that.
We had a year-long loan of a Mazda 3, and we had a lot of problems with that system.
Yeah. Shit.
Does a couple $100 makes you happy? Shit.
The problem is, I don't know how the Apple CarPlay. First of all, I just got an Apple iPhone. It's with work, and I've intentionally stayed out of the Apple universe as long as possible. So I use CarPlay on it, and I suppose it's great if you want to suck down your data for a map instead of using the car system. I would just couple the thing through Bluetooth because I'm thinking if you still have to work with the Mazda software, like you're still at the mercy of that screwed up MMI.
I agree. I would, if you're okay, like mounting your phone on the dash and just coupling to Bluetooth, I would probably just do that.
And that's not just the Apple hater in me saying that, because I do both, but it's easier. Just use Bluetooth.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I wouldn't spend a few $100s on it. If they offer you like a free upgrade, or there's a day where you could do it for $50 or something, then maybe. But I wouldn't spend a few $100s for CarPlay. In fact, in most press cars and stuff that have CarPlay, I don't actually use it. And they wanted to sell it to me for my Ford, and I don't use it. Yeah, I use it in this Lotus for the first time because it's easier to charge while you're, you know what I mean?
Hooked up into the system.
Yeah, it gets confused if you have to do either Bluetooth or plug it in. It doesn't really like both, so I just sort of did it. I hate the voice text messaging shit. I hate when it reads it back to you. Like, instead of reading it back to me, like, can't you just show what I'm saying on the fucking screen?
No, you'll look at it.
I think it's more distracting to
agree
use
with you.
CarPlay than it is to try and do my phone on the dash. And I just had this argument with a Tesla owner too, and I was like, how come they think Teslas are the greatest thing ever?
I hate it.
And I go, how come it is not okay to use my phone mounted on a dash, but it's okay to use this giant 17-inch tablet mounted to the dash?
Right.
I don't know, but anyway.
I agree with you on that. I hate those systems. I don't use them if I don't need them.
Yeah.
And I rarely need them. They make me mad.
Simpler the better.
Yeah.
If there was like literally like just a USB port on the dash that went to speakers, like I'd be so fucking stoked. That's all I want in my whole
The
life.
cassette adapter in the Lexus.
Is it working at this moment?
Actually, I just had a thought about something that I noticed in the Lexus on the way over that I should probably point out. So when I turned it on at home to drive it over here, the dashboard would not light up, and it wouldn't tell me what where the time is. No electricity to there. You did not get to know what time it is. But then, after I turned it off at the office and then turned it back on, you get it again.
For those listening,
So-
Matt looks very happy
So
right
this
now.
is,
Very happy.
it's just one of the fun quirks
can't-
about the car where you're just like, sometimes you,
need to know
get
what
to know what time it is. Sometimes
I'm gonna have
car
to
says
tell,
no.
I'm gonna have to tell these guys, like, listen, I can't help you. Like, you
Right.
take this
Yeah.
car.
They need
if
to
you
know that
leave Los Angeles,
gonna be responsible.
Like, I cannot help you.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I mean, much as I love that car, if they're going to put 10,000 miles on it, not knowing what time it is not their biggest problem.
It's true.
Not knowing where the oil dipstick is, that's their biggest problem.
Yeah. Well,
But I just wanted to point, I just thought I should mention that. But it came back on. It just needed a nap, I think.
sweet.
Yeah.
Look at him.
good.
He's got his. What do you mean? There's no Santa
I'm
Claus
so
face
glad
on
I
it?
spent all that money on insurance in this fucking car. Sometimes I really hope it just catches on fire, burns to the ground.
That could come true.
I know it could. I know it really could. I know.
Can I borrow the car?
Yup.
I want to get to the green question. We have to answer the yellow one, right?
The green. Oh, Greg wants to know. I don't know which color is green. Greg wants to know. I've autocrossed but never tracked. This summer I'll do a few laps at the Nürburgring. If you are going on June 14th, you'll see me at the Nürburgring. I'm going to the Nürburgring. I've been practicing in a game. Okay. Don't do that. I would not practice in a game. I'm serious. Any tips about how to learn what's coming up on a track? Okay.
Yeah, go for a ride.
All right,
around.
listen. Let me explain a few things. One, the Nürburgring is just as fun and just as scary as everybody says it is. Both of those things are true. If you're going to do laps of the Nürburgring, if you go with an outfit like RSR Nürburg, which has rental race cars and they do a briefing and they really make it easy for you, that's actually what I'm doing. And they have like an instructional video that's like really, really helpful. I don't think you should drive. I think the best thing to do the first time you go to the Nürburgring is drive it like a road. Just a road, like a road that you'd be surprised. You can go under 10 minutes not going flat over like any of the blind crests. Like just driving like a canyon road that has no speed limit. Like I think that's the best way to have fun. Like I wouldn't drive it like a racetrack. How to learn what's coming up on a track. I mean, the Nürburgring is the hardest racetrack in the world, so it's just memory and repetition. That's why I say don't practice. Don't train yourself to think you might know what's coming up, because you might be fucking wrong, and you might have to buy yourself a race car and some Armco that's broken. And so,
or a coffin.
Or a coffin.
Right.
Probably not a coffin, but more likely some expensive
A good
metal.
light cast.
Yeah, maybe a little hospital stay, maybe an ambulance ride.
I've never driven at the Nürburgring. I'm dying to, but my thing would be is don't try to set a record. Don't try to go fast. Just enjoy the fact that you're on the fucking
that's
Nürburgring.
actually that's really good advice. Like I'm sure this person knows like don't that, but like throw the ego out the window and actually like. I mean, if you're doing a few laps, let's call that 5. 5 is a lot of laps to the Nürburgring. 5 laps to the Nürburgring is like almost an hour of driving, and so like if you really take the first few laps to like just appreciate the fact that you're at the Nürburgring, and try to drive what you can see. That's what I would say. Drive what you can see, and just really be aware of what's around you, because there's literally like fucking buses and then motorcycles and then a guy in a GT3R and then like it's craziness out there sometimes.
Wait, you can drive a bus on the Nürburgring?
You fucking can,
my
Aaron.
gosh.
Excuse me.
Aaron, honestly, that is your calling. We need to get it's possible, right? We can get you to drive like one of those cool European short
would be
wheelbase
so
buses.
happy.
No, fuck that. I'll take the 45-footer. Did I tell you about the time I did a 45-footer on a banked test oval?
I mean, this sounds spectacular.
I did a 45-footer, and I
How'd
get
it
into
go?
it. It was great. It was right-hand drive. It was a British bus on the ZF test track, and I get
What
on
was
it.
the point of this?
They were having us drive all their new transmission stuff. I don't know how I got invited on this trip, but it was
Top speed testing in buses.
I had to change my underwear.
Oh, he
several
got
times.
to drive some delivery trucks too. It wasn't just buses,
Oh
Matt.
yeah, I got a picture of the
Okay.
Russian dump truck I drove, and the guy's like, "No, second lane." So I'm in this thing, but it's a track for cars that drive on the right, but I'm on the right side, so the whole I'm on the downhill side, and then the turn says 60 kilometers an hour, and I look down and I go, "All right, I'm doing 60, I'm fine." And then all of a sudden it occurs to me, wait a second, this thing is British. I'm not going
miles an
60
hour.
kilometers an
Yeah.
hour. I'm going 60 miles an hour. Really good brakes in that. I would love to
Were
drive
you
a bus on the
solo?
freaking Nürburgring.
Did you have a chaperone in the bus?
I had a chaperone for that one, but I did not when I drove the bendy bus, the electric bending in the middle
so
bus.
jealous. I would love to drive.
He
a
was
bus.
And there's
so
a
happy.
pullover, so we all pulled over and pretended to stop and pick people up. All of us did it.
Oh my god, that'd be so fun. I tried this at SEMA. I tried the semi-truck simulator that was an actual semi-truck.
right.
When you got in the truck and the windows of the truck were screens and you like turned the action. It was crazy and it moved and all kind of shit. And I behaved myself for like 4 minutes.
And then
I
Just
went
started
the
running
wrong
shit over?
way up the 105 freeway and like jumped to like the movie Speed. Fucking great.
That's I forget the name of the video game where you can drive a truck that I have. It's not a Grand Theft. Might be one of the Grand Theft Autos. That's why
sure
you drive
there
the
is,
wrong way down the street. You get up some speed and then
Yeah,
everywhere.
absolutely spectacular. I hope we weren't too hard on Greg. I hope you enjoy the Nürburgring. June 14th, I will be at the Nürburgring. Come have a beer with me. It's not like a meet and greet. I'm just chilling with some friends. I'll be at the Piston Klasse, which is at the Tiergarten Hotel, which is the famous hotel that Sabina Schmitz's family owns. It's like the typical Nürburgring experience. Come say hi June 14th. Let's see. Ooh, just drove my buddy's new to him 95 NSX, and now I have the mid-engine bug. What should I get? Budget for $35K. What is the best mid-engine car for $35,000?
Caveat: the man is 6'2".
Oh, he
Say
is?
that? Did you find that in the others? Oh, did he? Was there an asterisk somewhere?
Down here.
Oh,
Okay.
down here. P.S. I'm 6'2". Okay.
Here's my
Tall
thoughts on
guy,
that.
mid-engine cars.
My thoughts on that. If it's in his budget, is the car he should buy is an NSX. Because the NSX isn't just awesome because it's mid-engined. The NSX is awesome because it's awesome. It's a truly, I think, terrific car. And when you remember the thing is 20 friggin'
Sounds
years
like you're
old.
giving him a Civic Award.
Literally. Good. That was a pun.
Oh, yeah, how about that?
You
I mean,
can
I
do it on
like
purpose.
I like a 914, even though I've never driven one. But I've driven other mid-engine cars. Like the NSX is really something amazing.
four-cylinder cars are very slow. 914
But
six-cylinders
it's momentum.
are fun.
And they're $1 billion.
But momentum, you could buy one that has a 6-cylinder that somebody put into it. That'd be great to drive. My 35K, I agree with you. If that'll get you into an NSX, I haven't watched the market over the last few months, but if that'll get you into a good NSX, that's a cool place to start. Also, Cayman S's are lovely, and reasonably reliable. Get a PPI, get an over rev report. They exist, but
expensive to get fixed.
Expensive to get fixed. All mid-engine cars are going to be annoying to get fixed because you got to jump through all kinds of hoops to get to stuff.
Well, in the Cayman, you got to drop the engine out of the bottom of the car, don't you?
Yeah, that. Also, if you really I mean, if you want to get into a project, like the 91 to 95 MR2 turbos can be done.
They are cool.
Built into really neat stuff, and those are a lot of fun. I don't know. That's about all I got.
I love the NSX.
I agree. NSX is, for that money, is probably your best bet.
I drove it at El Toro Marine Base, and I actually drove it just as a Acura PR guy had shown up, and I just went down the runway and back in this guy's NSX, and I came out and I saw the Acura guy, and I'm like, the fuck have you guys been doing for the last 20 years?
Yeah.
It's a good, they're neat cars.
They're very, very good. No problem. David, let's see. Oh, just wanted to send us some money. Thanks, David.
That was nice.
Is Blunder Crush wants to know, is eBay the only real place, bless you, Timmy, to buy vintage Rolex watches? No, in fact, I wouldn't buy shit on eBay. I've been fucked on eBay twice on watches. I would never buy a watch on eBay. Ever.
Really?
Never. Not a watch.
You buy other stuff on eBay?
Shit that isn't like the most faked luxury good on the planet. Yeah, a watch is a vintage Rolex watch. You want to go to either not necessarily an authorized dealer, but like a legit secondhand, like Crown and Caliber, which, true full disclosure, is my sponsor on the Watch Podcast. They have some vintage stuff. Bob's Watches, which is bobswatches.com, and they're here in Huntington. They have a lot of vintage Rolexes, and there's a bunch of like. Every major city will have one specialty shop that'll have vintage Rolexes.
Do they come with like some sort of authentic?
Dude, the problem with vintage Rolexes is it's so easy to fake them.
I know that those vintage Rolexes are huge.
There's the box and papers thing. Like some come with boxes and papers, but like it's really easy to fake papers, and you could get a box from somewhere else. Like, unless it's like the story has to be super legit for it to be huge money, but also like things like bezels can be replaced. Like they can fake age bezels and stuff. Like back in the day, like part of the reason these things are valuable is because they were used and discarded, and they weren't common. They were a semi-luxury good, but like they were used and beat up and serviced. And so the original ones with a patina and a fade and a whatever that have a story, like cars, a survivor car, are worth a lot of money. And they're, unlike a car, they're so easy to fake. And the difference between a Rolex Submariner that is $5,000 or $6,000 and one that is $20,000-$30,000 could be something as simple as this bezel is faded to a beautiful gray from a black. Like, and if that's legit, and that all has been together the whole time, it'd be very valuable. But if it's not, it's like, okay, it's still a nice watch, but like it's $5,000, it's not 30. And so there's so much money to be made on fake vintage Rolex. And so I certainly wouldn't ever buy anything that wasn't from like a well rated retailer over a very long period of time. But that's me. I've been fucked every time I've tried to do some like thing. It's just bad. But good luck. Buy yourself a Rolex. They are nice watches.
eBay's not a sponsor, are they?
I have nothing against eBay, but watches specifically are like, it's like the scammiest industry.
So easy.
You can really get you could buy a fake version of this watch that you wouldn't know is fake until you literally took it apart and looked at the movement inside and found out that it was made in China.
Wow.
Yeah. Because like this watch is a loaner. It's part of my sponsorship thing. This watch is like $10,000-$11,000. You could buy a fake.
Holy hell! I wouldn't have tried it on if I'd known that.
That's not a big deal. It's a durable piece of hardware. That's why part of the reason it's so much. But like, you can buy a fake one that looks 99% like this for like $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and most people that aren't watch people would never be able to tell and think it's the real deal. But they sell that shit on eBay, and that's, people get fucked a lot.
I bought a $20 car stereo on eBay.
Hell yeah!
I haven't installed it yet, but it's awesome.
Well, for $20, you get what you pay for. Yeah, if you find a vintage Rolex for $20, it ain't a vintage Rolex. Let's thank you though, Steve Nicks.
It's the Rolex Digital.
ROLECKS.
Yeah, the special one they did with Darth Vader on it.
How about that? There are some fun. There is a really neat piece that you would love for its kitschiness, called a Domino's Pizza Rolex, which they gave to like their I don't know, a couple hundred best performing franchises. Is a Rolex Air King with a Domino's logo on it.
Oh my god!
And I mean,
How did they talk Rolex into doing that?
They did that for a little bit. It was like in the 90s, and it was they're rare as fuck. They don't come around very often.
Was Rolex like a meth whore at the time?
Hey man,
I need to get my next fix. Yeah.
I hear they paid him in pizza. I don't know.
Hi, my name is Rolex. I'm an alcoholic, and I once made a special batch of watches for Domino's.
I don't know if I don't know the actual story. It's possible Rolex bought the watches and had them customized with the logo later, as opposed to them being done that way.
I
in
would
the
hope
factory.
so.
They weren't sold to the public like that, but you can find them on the internet once in a while.
That was the 4-month period when Rolex was owned by like Pepsi, KFC.
Right? The conglomerate.
So if you find a used car
Yeah.
that has like one of the Domino's lights on top, does
It counts.
does that count as
It
a
matches.
right? And
Trade
then
straight up.
and then does it make the car worth more money because it's got the Domino's
No,
light
because you
on
can
it?
move the light to the other car. They fake this shit.
God
Real.
damn it!
Did you hear about that kid who got sued, who bought the Domino's took those Chevy Sonics and like turned them into like they put like a pizza oven in the back.
Right.
You see that? And some YouTuber like bought one or two of them and fixed them basically, and Domino's like sued the guy.
Seriously?
Yeah.
For copyright infringement?
Yeah, and they made it. They said they want him to take the Domino's like livery or what livery, the whatever.
Stickers?
Paint scheme. Livery's right.
Yeah, or they wanted to. They tried to buy them back for cheap or whatever. They didn't want him to have them.
You know, UPS builds and scraps their own trucks. You can't buy a used UPS
That's
package car.
interesting.
I thought it was kind of fascinating.
Even they won't strip the thing off it and then sell it.
No, it's their own design. That's why you never see an
How
old
about
UPS
that?
truck. They're called package cars,
How
and
about
you never
that?
see them with somebody else's paint. They scrap their own trucks
Oh, I
because it's
wonder
a
who
trademark.
does like Grumman build them for them or something?
I don't know. It's what I read, and it was years ago, and I've never researched it again. They like do them in house. Like the old railroads used to build their own cars.
Sidebar: just got a text from Anton and Anna. They landed at LAX.
Are we supposed to pick them
Great.
up?
Is it? What
No.
time is it? Oh my gosh! It's 5:30. They're not going to be here for 6 years. I still got time
We're
to
at
clean up the hood.
studio. I just wanted to let them know we're at the studio. That'll be fun. I didn't know anything about those. That's so interesting. It never occurred to me that there are no secondhand UPS trucks.
And I
How
learned.
about that?
I
They have their own
learned.
truck factory. You think?
I think they may have built their own
Can you Wikipedia UPS truck?
UPS package car.
Yeah.
UPS package car.
I learned the art of starting the car with the clutch halfway out so it moves when you crank it in one fluid motion. Because this will be visual. Because I watched
Is
the
that you
UPS go
saving
like
fuel? This helping you
no,
using the starter?
no. If you do it right, it's cool.
Is it Grumman?
Among others.
Among others.
Morgan Olson, which is Grumman Olson,
Older-
Union City Body, and Ultimaster manufacture the bodies for UPS delivery.
Okay, I was wrong.
There it is.
What? You were wrong.
Based on
close.
Ford or General Motors P Series chassis.
Older vehicles.
I remember the old Ford. The old ones were Fords, I think.
Oh, and now they're based since 1990s. They're based on Freightliner, Navistar, or work for. All right, there we go.
Or Grumman.
Dude, I'm telling you, you should take a UPS truck on the Nürburgring.
That would be awesome.
He would want to.
Yeah.
With the doors open.
Shady as fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe
He has
And
to
then
wear
you
the
throw
uniform
people's
though.
package out, and then
I had my UPS guy went on vacation, and I didn't get anything that I was supposed to get for like a week. Like the substitute, I couldn't figure out how to get the things to my place, and he came back, and I was like, "What happened?" He was like, "Oh, did you not get your things either?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Oh, this guy."
is UPS a sponsor?
No.
Okay, are they ever going to be a sponsor?
No.
I used to work for a manufacturing company in my past life, and the way they would torture test their products for shipping is they would ship stuff from one corner of the country to the other, Florida to Maine and back by UPS. And they said if
Really?
it could survive that, it would survive any shipping anywhere in the country.
What?
They have a 3-foot drop standard. I learned that when I used to fix
Really?
computers. I had my stuff shipped FedEx because UPS could drop it at the time. This is in the 90s. UPS could drop it 3 feet without reporting it. FedEx could only drop it 1 foot.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Does that still happen? do you
I
think?
don't know. I don't know if they've changed it or not.
Drop standards.
Yeah.
I think those are publicly available, searchable.
Let's see, Tim.
I don't know. If only,
Give
if
me
only you
drop-
hi- if
give
only
me
you-
drop standards.
if only you hired a professional Googler.
Come on down. Drop standards. I don't
No,
know.
it's
That
not
might
coming
take
out.
a minute. I don't know. I bet you they bury the fuck out of this. That's going to be a tough one to dig out. They don't want you looking that
No.
up. They don't.
It could go off a loading dock and not be reported as
it could
damaged.
fall off a loading dock to the ground.
Without them reporting that it was damaged.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could,
yeah. Yeah. UPS always seems to be the most expensive option too, for some reason.
I don't know.
Anyway, what else do we have here? So,
Steve.
hang on. What does that say? Oh, I can't read that.
He's largely saying thank you.
Oh, and then is there anything at the end? I see that looks like there's cars.
He plays his backlog of the podcast in his shrunken Outback or 03 Vibe GT.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Patrick
Vibe
wants to know.
GTs, by the way. Vibe GT is a good car.
Vibe GT is a good car. Do I love Blazing Saddles like I love Spaceballs? I love Blazing Saddles, but not like Spaceballs. Spaceballs is the one.
Yeah.
Spaceballs is the
Can't
one, I
fuck
think.
with Spaceballs.
Yeah, how many assholes we got on the ship?
I'm surrounded by assholes.
We are fucking surrounded. Look at this. We're gonna call this one to the minute. Aaron, what do you want to plug before we wrap this shizno?
Automobilemag.com. I got a nice article with my bunch of pictures of my dog in the July issue on newsstands right now.
Seriously?
Yeah, the first assignment I had, I worked there 3 days, and he's like, "Go take the Discovery and this little Airstream base camp and go do something." And there's
Really?
almost
What's
and
an
we brought the
Airstream
dog.
base camp?
It's their little. It's not their littlest trailer, but it's
Timmy, what is this like? How much is it? Is it awesome?
it's like $35,000. It's
That's cheap for an Airstream.
Yeah, it's a little. There are bits of it that
it's
are a little
little.
awkward. It's tiny,
little.
but you know what? Look
Oh, it
how
looks-
high that thing is. We dragged that thing. Actually, if you go to automobilemag.com,
What did you
can
drag
find
it
the
with?
story.
A Discovery?
Discovery.
Land Rover
Land Rover Discovery.
What motor?
A diesel.
Oh.
That was great. If you can find the article, like search automobilemag.com Discovery Airstream, and that might bring it up. You'll see the pictures where we took this thing. I'm going like,
Did you,
I'm
like,
pretty
off-road
sure,
with it?
Yeah, we off-roaded with the trailer.
Really?
Like,
Does
I'm
anyone
pretty
make
sure
like a proper off-roading trailer?
Well, we saw.
Yes,
yes.
but
Yeah.
there are lots and lots and lots and lots and
That
lots
thing
and
is-
lots of money.
Yeah.
Moby makes one. It's like $42,000 all decked out, like
Okay.
like an off-road teardrop.
That's the
Cool.
one. Top story. It's got a better title in the magazine, but
Can you punch in on?
And there's a few others. SoCal teardrops. There's lots of them out there.
that thing was.
We're waiting
it was,
for it to load.
It was pretty durable. It was
Yeah?
pretty impressive. Yeah, the galley was nice, and
Did
you got to take
were-
everything
were you
out of it to
Were
convert
you
to.
fully off the grid?
Yeah.
Yeah, we stayed. Although we went to Alabama Hills because Robin had never
Love
been there. I
Alabama
always wanted to
Hills.
go,
Oh,
and we
it's
get up
so
there.
great.
Yeah, it is.
And there's a SoCal Airstream Owners Association meet
No
right where
way.
we're going.
There
And
was
they are
a-
the nicest
excited
people.
to see you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they
wanted
thought
us
we
to
were
join.
somebody else. They waved us down because one of their members had bought an Airstream, and they thought it was
You mean the base camp?
the
a base camp.
They
yeah,
were
they
all
all owned
Airstream
Airstreams.
people, yeah.
Man, I was driving a Volkswagen Golf R press car once, and it was right when it came out, and I was in the canyons and came upon a GTI meet in the canyons. They lost their shit
Yeah.
when I rolled up in this thing.
I
Wait,
did
so
it.
it was nice though?
Yeah,
For
it was nice.
35 grand?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, well, it's a bit much. I mean, I'm a cheapskate, so I have a bit of an issue with
you
that. But I
zoom
have
in?
to say,
Can you
it did everything we thought it would do. There's more You scroll down the. There's so many pictures of the dog in the magazine article. It's kind of funny. Like I got my dog in the magazine.
Wow, it actually it matches the look of a Discovery. It's got the same the windows
Oh, you're
almost
right,
the
it
windows
does.
almost line right up with that belt line of the Discovery.
And and look how high the thing sits off the ground.
Alabama Hills, for those who don't know, is in the middle of California, and it's where they shot every Western from 1920 to 1950.
Outside of Lone Pine.
Yeah, Lone Pine is a very cute town.
I
There's
love
a
it.
really good breakfast spot called Alice's in Lone Pine that I love.
I
Those are
love
the
that
awesome
whole
dog
area.
films.
It's great. It's right at the foothills of Mount Whitney. There's the shot, the Mount Whitney background shot. That drive up the 395.
It's beautiful.
As far as highway drives go, it
I
doesn't
love
get
it.
any better.
No, I love it up there.
That's why I like driving to Mammoth from LA.
Yes, beautiful.
Is the greatest thing. I would never fly to Mammoth because once you get out of the city, the rest of that drive is just so nice. That's good.
Plus, that Mammoth Airport's a little frightening.
Yeah, I've flown into that one before.
That's
not as frightening as Aspen. Aspen's scary because everybody crashes at Aspen
Right,
too.
right. Well, because it's higher.
Yeah, and
That's the one that's non-controlled, right? I think they don't actually have a control tower there.
and
A Mammoth or Aspen?
No,
Aspen
they
does.
do.
Mammoth, I
Aspen
don't think does.
No,
Mammoth
there's
might not.
in Colorado Steamboat. I don't know, some airport I went to, and they said, there's no control tower, and usually, it's pilot's discretion. And it was a day when all the flights were canceled, and they said every once in a while we get some 30-year veteran who will give it a try, but everybody else cancels. I'm like, yeah, I don't want that guy.
Yeah, no.
I want the guy who says, let's try this again tomorrow.
Yeah, no, you don't want the fucking Buddy Holly pilot. No, guys, it's cool. We can do this.
I like my pilots to be a little afraid.
Automobile Magazine. That's a good gig, man. Thank you.
I cannot believe I kept waiting for them to say, like my whole first week for them to go, oh, sorry, we meant Robinson. I can't believe I got it. The people there are nice. I love the work. I'm really happy.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking good care of the car.
Except for the hood.
Except for the
Thank you for
stickiness.
letting us use it. I friggin' love that car. And it's come in handy. It's cool to be part of the project.
It is. It's fun. I hope that these two, Anna and Anton, which is Adventureholics with an X, they're going on like, what, 13,000 miles?
Looks like it's going to be a fun trip.
God damn. That's
we need
crazy.
to teach them to check every fluid, and they need to bring oil with them. There's at least 1 quart in the car.
We're going to teach them that.
And when I say at least
after this.
And when I say at least 1 quart in the car, I don't mean in the trunk. I mean in the crankcase.
Well, there's a store up the street. I'll stock them up. All right, guys, that was a fun show. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. Smoking Tire Podcast, powered by Shout Engine. Get your own podcast at shoutengine.com. All you need is a microphone and something to say. The rest of it is pretty much done for you. We ain't doing Haggerty today. That's right. It's a Haggerty. Stories. It's a bye week. It's a bye show.
Oh, so
I do every other show we did last week. That's the show. That's the thing. That's the show. Thanks, live folks. We have appreciated your donations, your questions, all them things. Super chat might one day get us off of advertising. That would be fucking sweet.
Crowdfunded.
Well, that's basically what this is. But I don't have. Patreon seems like a turnoff to me. This seems like it's interactive. It's right now, and it's not committed. I don't know. Something about commitments in the internet don't sit well with me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been fucked by Emil Rensing too many times. Who's going to jail? Emil Rensing's going to jail.
See, he does sing.
51 months. 51 months.
Why couldn't you sing the other song that Robin wanted to sing?
What's that? Oh, because it's not Vampire Weekend?
Vampire Weekend.
Maybe we can send Vampire Weekend to play for Emil Rensing in jail, like fucking Folsom Prison. Oh, that would be torture. Imagine you're in prison, you're like, guys, a famous band is coming to play, and then you find out it's Vampire Weekend. Ugh. What a disaster.
We don't know because you wouldn't sing it for us.
Yeah,
I know.
It's hard to make a decision.
I would tell you to go home and listen to it, but I'm not.
But you like us.
Nope. Good night. Happy Friday. See you later.